I was kind of stubborn in a way. I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. And I felt like I was too good to go get a job. I was like, no, I'm not gonna go get a job. I'm gonna figure it out. So I ended up blowing through my whole savings, man. And then thankfully at that time I had good credit, so I had like 50,000 or so worth of a credit line, and by the time I got broke, man, I started at the end of 2016 because we went to GrowthCon in the beginning of 2017. The end of 2016, man, I had nothing, dude. I was living at a friend's house. I was paying him rent through my credit card. I was paying my car note through credit card. I was buying my groceries through credit card. Next thing you know, I'm like $50,000 in debt.
All right, Cody, welcome to the show, bro.
What's up, man? What's up?
My
Glad to
man.
be on. Glad to be on, man.
It's good to have you on here, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This is a Started Somewhere podcast. We're here to tell your story. And I'm excited. I'm always excited to do these episodes because, sometimes I know the guests, sometimes I don't. I happen to know you, but I don't know you and
Yeah.
your story on that level. So,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
excited to hear your come up, man. You're out of Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
We live not far from each other. We were just chopping it up about that. Good
Yep.
old San Felipe,
Yep.
Galleria area, man.
Yeah.
It's the heart of the city right there, in my opinion.
Oh, man, I love it. Yeah, it's a great spot.
Houston's weird, man. It's like when you live in Houston, most cities, gravitate around like the downtown districts.
Hmm.
But in Houston, it's not like that. It's like the Galleria is like the heart, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
So Houston's just set up different, man. Like you go to New
Yeah.
York City, San Francisco, when tourists come to town, they go right to downtown.
Right.
L.A. No, maybe not L.A. because downtown's kind of wanky out there too. But yeah, Houston's just so spread out, man. How you like Houston, bro?
I love Houston, man. Love it out here, man. I mean, coming from where I came from, the little small town, dude. I mean, Houston's got everything for you to do out here. There's always something to do out here. Always something.
What small town you come from, man?
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
Yeah.
the listeners that don't know where that is geographically, bro, where's
So,
Lafayette?
it's about 30 minutes away from Baton Rouge, where LSU's at. So, not too far, 45 minutes from Baton Rouge.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Louisiana, man?
Man, it was good. I had a good childhood. A lot of, I was a very outdoorsy kid. We had woods not too far from, the neighborhood that I grew up in, and as a kid, we would always go out there, build tree houses.
Mm.
I was in elementary school, man, building tree houses and shit. So it was great, man. Got to spend a lot of time outdoors with my dad. Fishing, stuff like that, man. It was
Mm.
basic, simple life, man.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's good childhood for sure.
Man, I like Louisiana, bro. The
Yeah,
people just so damn friendly in Louisiana. Like cause I go to Lake Charles all the time. And whenever
yeah,
I cross that border from Texas, man, it's like I enter like Friendlyville, bro. I don't know. It's like Louisiana people are just so damn nice. I feel. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, man. We do have that little southern charm to it for sure.
Yeah, bro. That's the bottom of the map too, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
living in Houston, obviously a much bigger place than where you're coming from, which is a small town lifestyle. And with bigger cities, comes bigger business. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you relocated.
Yeah.
So, tell us, man, what have you been up to? What's your business? What's your hustle? What's that look like?
Yeah, man. So right now, majority of what I'm doing is real estate investing. Primarily wholesaling is what our main focus is on. We do a little bit of fix and flips, got a couple buy and holds, stuff like that. We're looking to grow into more. more of the buy and holds and fix and flips. Right now, we're having a lot of success with wholesaling. We're in a couple markets. We're in Houston, Dallas, Nashville, Tennessee, Bay Area of California. So it's going pretty good for us. We're also doing South Louisiana too, since that's where I'm
Mm,
from. Kind of know the market real well out there in Baton Rouge area.
mm.
Um,
No kidding, man.
other,
So you've expanded to California already. You
yeah,
said Bay Area, man. That's huge.
yeah, man. It kind of fell on my lap, you know. It's one of those things where you just kind of can't pass it up,
Mm.
and it's why not take a crack at it, So
You know, expansion, man. Expansion's tough for a lot of people. That's one of my weaknesses is expansion. And when it comes to real estate, because real estate is so much revolved around seeing the physical property, right? Like
right.
it's difficult. I mean, in the fix and flip space at least, like as a rehabber, and I'm sure you can relate to this. It's
Hmm.
difficult for me to buy a house that I can't see with my own eyes.
Right.
If I'm putting my investors' capital at risk, I feel irresponsible
Hmm.
if I let somebody else verify other than me, because
Hmm.
they're trusting me, not the runner that I'm hiring. You
Right.
get what I feel, what I'm saying. So, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Man, well, I mean, as far as like, picking up homes like virtually, like we're not in California, we're not in Tennessee, we're not, there physically in Louisiana. You can still, if you have access to the MLS and you can see, what current homes around, the neighborhood are selling for and what the conditions in. And if you ask, questions to the seller, what kind of shape the house is in, you can kind of justify roughly, how much the repairs are going to cost, and also, what you could buy the property for. And, on some MLSs, you could also see what cash investors are already paying for. Sometimes you could filter that out. So,
Mm.
it's good judgment based on those things. Sometimes sellers lie, man. It is what it is. But it's also good to have boots on the ground out there, somebody and you can trust,
Mm.
to get pictures of the property for you and check it out for you as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm glad to hear that that's working out for you, man. Because some companies have figured it out completely, and they're able
yeah,
to hit 10, 15 markets at a time. Whether
yeah,
they have boots on the ground in those places or they're doing it all virtually. I mean, more power to you, man, if you've been able to crack that code. Because
yeah, yeah,
it definitely has always interested me. Because being limited to one market, I feel like you can only grow so big, man.
right.
I mean, Houston's a big city. You can grow
It
pretty
is.
damn big in Houston. But for
Yeah,
people that aren't from Houston, people that are wholesaling in, Austin or San Antonio, smaller cities, I mean, I feel like you can only grow so big before you need to expand. What do you think?
right. No, I agree with that, man. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like one of the markets that we're in is Louisiana. I mean, if that was the only market that we were in, we'd be in trouble. I don't want to say trouble, but like you say, limited, right?
Mm,
There's not as many opportunities, there's not as many investors out there doing deals, right? So if I was one of those guys that lived, if I lived again in my hometown, that wouldn't be the only place I would want to work out of. You gotta, it's very limited out there.
mm.
You
I
gotta
feel you,
expand.
man. Absolutely. Now, are you doing anything else other than real estate?
Man, a few other like little small stuff. We opened up some an Amazon store, doing some Amazon FBA. That stuff's pretty much still in the works. We're about to open our own title company too, so closing.
I just Cody, one sec, man. We're gonna cut right there. I just got some audio interference, bro. Did something happen on your end? I can't hear you right now. Like you sound like a mile away.
What the hell?
There we go. You're
Better?
back. Yeah. Something fall over or something get pulled
Nah,
out?
no. Let me. let me exit out of some of these things that might
Okay. Because you're
hold up.
good now, but it just created like a huge interference. But I'll cut right there,
Yeah.
so no one will even know that it
Okay.
happened.
Let me exit out of this stuff too. How's this?
Yeah,
Better?
you're golden. Yeah.
Okay.
So just start back off with the we're doing Amazon FBA and we're getting ready to open up a
Okay.
title company.
Okay. Yeah, so right now at this moment, we're starting up a little Amazon FBA store that we have in the works. And also we got a title company that we're about to launch. So pretty excited for that. We started looking at some retail space
Mm.
earlier last week, and we'll be trying to target retail closings as well as investment closings as well. So pretty excited about that. So
That's awesome, bro.
yeah, man.
Title company. I like it,
Yeah.
man. I like it. You
Trying to
might.
get my hands in everything in the real estate world. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. Absolutely, bro. Hey,
Yeah.
there's business to be done, man. These title companies are making bank with all these closings, so I
Yeah.
definitely see the vision.
Right.
Amazon FBA, man. Let's talk about that, bro.
Yeah.
Why Amazon FBA?
Oh man, so it's a safer solution. It's diversifying some of my investments. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, Getting into some of that e-commerce type stuff. We kind of got in a different way, I guess. We're not going to be too hands on with it. Somebody else will be kind of handling majority of it for us. Um, as far as I really don't have too much knowledge on it, Ross. But as far as what I know, the FBA route is more safer to go compared to the drop shipping route. Just because that what I've heard about the drop shipping is that Amazon usually is more um, suspicious, I guess, on those types of accounts.
mm.
They want to see receipts and these things. But like I said, man, it's not my forte, if you will. I'm not too educated around the Amazon thing. Still learning a lot about it. And
Dude,
yeah, just
e-com's where it's at, brother. I've
yeah,
been
yeah, I
trying to
know
tell
that.
people
Yeah,
for years, man.
yeah,
If you are not making internet money yet, you need to be making internet money, dude. Like, if you
right.
just look at the trends, right?
Hmm.
Look at where things are going.
Right,
Ty
right.
Lopez is buying. He bought Pier One, Modell's, Dress Barn, and he's taken all of these once huge brick and mortar retailers all online. I'm sure you've seen the post about all that shit
Yeah,
that he's been up to. But I mean, man, especially with COVID, bro.
I
Like,
know.
dude, Amazon's at my building every day dropping off like 500
Yeah,
packages. Like, I don't see Walmart packages. I don't see like Foot Locker boxes. I see Amazon, Amazon,
yeah,
Amazon. So I definitely respect that. That addition, bro. I think that's gonna
yeah,
be big,
yeah,
man. There's a
yeah.
skill gap, though, of course, right?
Right,
Just like
right.
anything, real estate, e-com, you got to know what you're doing, or at least have somebody that knows what they're doing to be
Hmm.
successful at it. But e-com, man, dude, so powerful, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool,
Pretty
man.
excited.
I like
Yeah.
that. Cody, I want to switch up gears here a little bit, man, because you're killing it right now. You're doing deals. You're getting into the e-com world, even in opening up a title company. But that stuff didn't happen overnight for you, right?
No.
So let's go back in time, man. Grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana. Did you always want to be an entrepreneur?
No.
Okay, talk to us about that come up.
Um, Man, growing up in that small town, I wanted to follow my dad's footsteps, right? So, it's very that area is very oil and gas dominant as far as the economy in South Louisiana. And whenever I was a younger boy, I just wanted to hurry up, finish school, and get out there and start making money, just kind of like how my dad did. So, um, it was a good living, I dropped out of high school my junior year, and went straight to work. Worked for my dad for a little while, and then eventually progressed and just got on with bigger companies. Um, and then as that went on, I thought I was sitting good, man. I had a new house, I had a new truck. I was 20, 22, 23 years old at the time, and I was working offshore away from home a lot. And then I was making a six-figure salary, so it was good money. But I was paying the price by being away from home a lot. I was on 24-hour calls, so they would call me and say, "Hey, you got to go offshore. It's time to go. Pack your bags." So it's a different lifestyle. It's a tough lifestyle, but the money was very rewarding. Um, until around beginning of 2015, whenever it started slowing down. We started to see a shift in the oil market, and the price per barrel started dropping. And then eventually, I was out of a job that end of the year. So
Wow. So I have a few follow up questions for you, bro. So you
okay,
dropped out of high school junior year.
yeah,
Junior, what are you? 16?
yeah. I was 17. I was
17?
17. Yeah,
Yeah, 17. So you dropped, man. That's a big decision, right? To drop out of high school, especially because you made it all the way from kindergarten
yeah,
to junior year, and you right
yeah.
there to get that degree.
I know,
You're a
man.
year away,
Yeah,
and then you just say, you know what, I'm done.
yeah,
What drove you to make that decision, man?
man. I had some personal stuff going on. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Mm,
Um, towards my, whenever I got into high school and towards like the later half of my junior high year, I just kind of, started going towards a bad path in my life, just hanging out with wrong people.
mm,
Um, and honestly, I was just ready to make some money, man. School just wasn't for me. I was not interested. I didn't want to learn. I didn't, I wanted to, be more hands on. I wanted to start making money.
mm,
So, it was a lot of convincing, to my parents that, this is what I wanted to do. But, I had supportive parents. My mother, of course, she was like, no, if you do this, you're going to get your GED. I'm making you go get your GED at least. So, I did that. And
Oh, so you did get the GED.
I did get a GED.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's the same shit,
Good,
right?
good enough diploma.
Well, you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you skipped out on the high school prom, and you didn't care about any of
No,
that.
no. So yeah, I still went to prom. I still had a lot of friends and stuff, but I was still going to prom, still hanging out, still doing the
Yeah.
dumb crap, but I started working. I wanted to
Right.
start
Right.
making money. That was it.
Okay. So it sounds like you had an in into the oil and gas business.
Yeah,
Which being your father, giving you kind of like that layup, man. Like, for let's just say a 17-year-old was listening right now, and they were like, "I want to drop out and go work." They don't have an in, they don't have experience with anything. Like, you think it would be a little bit different for their experience than it was for yours?
not necessarily, man. I mean, I had, you know, thankfully I had my dad that took me in and showed me some stuff, but it's not necessarily the case. I mean, I was I worked for my dad for like a year or two, and then I wanted something different. I didn't like
Mm.
the type of work that I was doing. I didn't enjoy it, so I started venturing into other avenues of what the oil and gas had to offer. As far as job positions. So
Mm. Yeah,
um,
it's definitely. I've talked to a few people that come from the oil and gas industry as well, man. And the one thing they tell me is it is a lot of work,
yeah, yeah,
like a lot of work. That's what I've heard. It's like
man.
back breaking, tiring
Yeah,
work.
it all depends on what you're doing, right? I mean, they got some gravy jobs too, where you're just sitting back and collecting checks,
Mm,
but I mean, you're away from home, you know. But of course, whenever I started off at a younger age, I had to build my resume up, get some experience before I had that cake job.
mm,
But yeah, man, there was a lot of days where I was dirty, nasty, sleeping in a truck on a land location for days without a good shower. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know,
Wow. And you said you were working offshore too, right?
yeah, yeah. So land rigs as well as offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah,
Wow. So you see these things in the movies, right? These huge
yeah,
oil rigs. You were working on one of them.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
do you
Of course.
come in on a helicopter
Yep.
and they just
Yep.
drop you off there
Drop you off,
and
man.
you out in the middle of the ocean.
In the ocean, man. Yep.
No seasickness, nothing. Look around,
Those
all you see is water.
yeah. So you're either getting to the rig by taking a chopper or you're taking a boat, and it all depends on how the rig wants to get you there, right? If
Mm.
they need you there fast, they'll put you on a helicopter. If they're cool with waiting on you to get there, they'll put you on what's called a crew boat. There was only one time where I felt like I was getting seasick, man. I was literally sleeping on the boat. It was like a 4-hour boat ride, and the waves, man, were just coming in hard, bro.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, I wake up in the middle of my sleep. I'm like, you know, catching some air. There, I I woke up and I was like, holy shit, man. Yeah, talk about
Yeah.
a crazy feeling.
Yeah, you got to pop the Dramamine, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I went on my first ever cruise last
Mhm.
year. I was
Yeah,
good, man. I was nervous, but I got
yeah.
on this huge, massive ship. I was good.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, this is a cakewalk. I'm not gonna get seasick. On like the third day, we were going out to Bermuda, so it was way out there. On the third day, I'm playing bingo in this theater, and there's no windows, like you can't see anything. And all of
Hmm.
a sudden, man, it hit me like a ton of bricks. My brain realized that I was moving, but
Yeah,
I was staying still at the same time. All of a sudden,
yeah,
I got the dizzy feel, Like
yeah,
what the
yeah.
hell? So we go to eat. We sit down at this restaurant, and this captain's hauling ass on this shit, man. I'm looking out the window. We're hauling butt. All of a sudden, man, I felt like I was gonna yak, dude, all over. I went to the infirmary. I said, I'm sick, man. I feel like I'm freaking walking on the moon. They're like, all right, well, it's like $500 just to come in here through this door. It's like
Hmm.
$500. They're like, or you could go buy some pills at the gift shop. I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna go buy the pills. Like,
Yeah,
damn, man. But yeah, it's crazy, man, being out there with those waves, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Is working on a rig, man? Is that a dangerous job?
Oh hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, man. I mean, you'd be surprised some of the crap that I've seen. I mean, you're talking about like, there's a lot of pressure that you're dealing with. They're pressuring up, down in that well. I mean, they're changing fluids, right? Which these fluids have a certain weight to it.
Mm.
And whenever they're changing out fluids, I mean, they're trying to, you just never know what could happen, man. I mean, that's never know what could happen. Like a blowout. There's a lot of equipment that's just being slung around. Um, and
Mm.
I haven't seen anybody get really hurt, but I've seen people get hurt. It's definitely not the safest environment.
A
Not like
while
an office
back,
is.
a while back, they made a movie about
Yeah.
an accident on a rig. I forgot the name of the movie. I'm sure
Yeah,
the audience would know.
Deepwater Horizon.
Yes,
Yeah.
great movie, man.
Yeah.
True
They
story
did,
too, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They did really well on showing, what happens out there too, man. I mean,
Yeah, that was a
they're great.
tragedy. Holy
Yeah, they
smokes!
did well with, the setup with the rig and everything, man. It was
Mm.
a good movie.
Yeah, definitely. And there's people out there right now as we talk offshore somewhere, right? All
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
world,
yeah.
making it happen.
Making it
So
happen.
obviously you're not on the rig anymore.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened, man. You're not working in the oil and gas industry as a whole anymore.
Yeah.
So, you're making this six-figure salary, which, by the way, 22, 23 years old, you probably thought you was making millions because that's a lot of money at
Oh,
22
man,
years old.
I was on top of the world, dude.
Yeah, that's a
This
lot
is
of
it.
dough.
We made it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Before I even ask you, man, what led you to depart there? I'm curious. 22, making that much money. What do you do, man? You saving, you spending, you're buying dumb stuff. Like, what's going through your
Yeah.
head?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I did that, right? I started spending a bunch of stupid money. So 2015 happened, right? Beginning of 2015, things started slowing down. Next thing you know, my boss starts telling me, "Hey, Cody, we're gonna have to take you out of the field, right?" And what I mean by field was being offshore, being on these rigs. That's where you made your money. Being away from home, you make a lot of money doing that.
Mm.
They were like, we're gonna have to put you in the shop, working, 8, 9 hours a day. So I was like, shit, man, that was a pay cut. You know what I mean? Because I was getting 20 hours a day being away from home, going from 20 to 8 hours a day. So I had no choice but to go through with it. So I started working in the shop for a little while. Meanwhile, while a bunch of my friends started getting laid off, we started seeing the impact on the price per barrel being dropped. And the December of 2015 rolls around the corner, and I got let go. So within that time frame, though, that whole year of 2015, I went through a little 180, man. I had another guy that was in a similar position as me. We worked for the same company, had the same job title, everything. But I was depressed, man. I was like, what am I going to do? I left high school. This is all I knew, right? No other companies were hiring because, everybody was getting let go. So I asked my buddy, he was coming into the shop smiling, just happy, full of energy, while I'm sitting here kind of just depressed, trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do next. Um, and yeah, I'm like, man, like what, like why are you so happy? Like you're not worried, we're gonna get cut. And he's like, no, man, I'm good. I was like, what do you mean you're good? Like, what do you do? Like, what are you gonna do if we get let go? He was like, well, me and my wife flip houses, on the side. So I mean, we're just gonna start flipping more houses. We'll stay busy doing that. And I was like, man, tell me more about, flipping houses. I knew about it, of course, like HGTV and stuff, but I never like really took time out to like really want to study it. So he told me a little about it. I was really interested in it. He put me on bigger pockets, so I started, reading the forums, listening to podcasts,
Mm.
and then I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I was like, after that, I was like, man, I've been spending money the wrong way. And then he told me the next thing to read was Think and Grow Rich. So I read that, and then that book really hit me, man.
Mm.
Both those two books combined, just I was never a reader, man, but I was at such a low point in my life where I was like, I need to make a change. Maybe this is it. And I was intrigued by it, by the whole real estate, being your own boss, and another big thing, I think the biggest thing, Ross, that scared me was I seen all these older men in their, late 40s, 50s. And I started thinking to myself, like, man, is this the lifestyle I want? Is this it? Like, I'm coming in here, like, they were walking in sad, it's like another day. And I started thinking, I was like, man, I do not want to go out like this. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in a position where I'm 40, 50 years old and they say, hey, Cody, you let go. And you know, I, I I started just thinking like I never want to put myself in this position, nor do I ever want to put my family in this position. So I needed to make a change.
Mm. I feel that, bro.
Yeah,
So I'm curious when you're doing all this, backbreaking work for this company. Like you putting on for this company. Of course, they're paying you. You're
yeah.
working, hustling, and
Hmm.
they let you go. How do they do it? I've never been in that position, so I'm curious. Like, do they just send you an
They
email like
nah
later, or
they brought me in the office, man, and they just gave me the news. You
and they
know,
say, hey,
yeah,
we let you, and that's it.
that was it, man. And
Damn, that's
at that
cold.
time, yeah, at that time, it didn't phase me, man, because my mindset from all the stuff in between, by listening to Bigger Pockets and listening to reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, reading Think and Grow Rich. My
Mm,
mindset was already set on like, I want to own my own business. I want to get in real estate. I want to change my whole life.
mm. So you had
So
already started
I
positioning
prepared.
yourself.
I prepared, man. I started selling a lot of shit that I didn't need. I started saving a lot of money. I bought my first rental property. Literally, I closed on it a week after I got laid off.
Nice, man.
I
Now,
was
were you living in Louisiana at the time, or had you already moved to Houston?
no, I was still in Louisiana.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you bought a rental out in your hometown.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. Did you get a loan on it, or you pay cash? What'd you
No,
do?
I got a loan on it. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
still own it to this day?
Still have it today.
No
Yeah.
way. Nice. I'm sure
Yep.
you've paid down the principal a little bit since then, right? 5 years.
Okay.
So the listeners don't know this, man, but so we actually met on a plane. We got to tell them this story, man. So this is 2015, right? I believe that
Hmm.
it was the year 2015
No,
or
2017 was
20, was it
the first.
2017?
Yeah, 2017 was his first growth
Okay. So
conference, man.
2017. We
Yeah.
met on an airplane going to Fort Lauderdale.
Hmm.
And it was me and a couple of my buddies. You were sitting in back, like
Yeah.
10 rows back.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my buddies was sitting next to you, I think, right? And we were on the way to Grant Cardone's 10X Growth Con. And I remember looking back and I saw like 20 empty bottles of Crown Royal. Mind you, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like it's
Oh man, I
early.
know. Yeah.
And I guess you were drinking with one of my buddies before we
Yeah.
even got to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. Got drunk on the plane.
But we didn't even know at the time that we were both going to the same conference, man.
Right.
And that's super cool. Like, did you? I mean, obviously, you were getting into the space. You were getting into real estate. 2015, you bought your rental property. This is like 2 years later. But did you like? Where were you in your life when you decided to go to this huge conference in Miami? Grant
Yeah.
Cardone, right? Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Out. Like, what was going through your head, man, when you bought that ticket?
I was broke as hell, dude. So I got laid off, and then 2015 came to Houston in 2016. That whole year, man, yeah, my mindset changed, but I didn't take the right actions. I was kind of stubborn in a way. I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. And I felt like I was too good to go get a job. I was like, no, I'm not gonna go get a job. I'm gonna figure it out. So I ended up blowing through my whole savings, man. And then thankfully at that time I had good credit, so I had like 50,000 or so worth of a credit line, and by the time I got broke, man, I started at the end of 2016 because we went to GrowthCon in the beginning of 2017. The end of 2016, man, I had nothing, dude. I was living at a friend's house. I was paying him rent through my credit card. I was paying my car note through credit card. I was buying my groceries through credit card. Next thing you know, I'm like $50,000 in debt. And matter of fact, I bought that 10X GrowthCon ticket with the credit card.
Mm.
I was just looking for a change, man. I was in a new city. I didn't have too many friends. I had a lot of friends from my hometown that had ended up moving there, but I was looking for a change of scenery. Um, yeah, man. I mean, it was, I
And
needed something.
GrowthCon it's an expensive ticket, right? It's
Yeah,
not like a $50 ticket to a concert. Like it's like
right.
probably what $1,000, right?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that for the
Yep.
general admissions. I mean, that's you're going through all this, putting everything on credit, broke, no job, and then you buy this ticket to go to this conference. I mean, that's a big power move and an investment in yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think was really driving you to take that step? Because most people, Cody, they don't like to invest in themselves. They don't see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
as like a viable solution. But
Right.
it sounds like you were willing to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Man, I still invest in myself to this day, man. I'm still buying my mentorship programs. I'm still investing into coaching. Um, but at that time, man, like, I think I needed something positive and uplifting, man, because I went through a dark time. You
Mm.
know, I wasn't happy with myself, who I was. I kept, thinking like, man, did I make a mistake moving here? How do I get out of this hole? And I was just looking for anything for a change.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, did you find that change, or
Um,
what happened then?
I met a lot of new people. I'm still friends with them today. Other people that live in other states.
Mm.
I still talk to some of them. I had a lot of takeaways from that event. Um, since then, since that event, like right after that event, I started a trucking company with a friend, with my credit card, and I started. It's a funny thing, man. It's probably one of the funniest things I've been through. This whole time I was looking to start a business. Well, me and my buddy bought one of those box trucks, like
Mm.
those U-Haul trucks, and we started a moving company. So we did one move, and after that one move, we were so beat. We were like, "What the hell did we do, man?"
No shit.
We were like, "What the hell did we get ourselves into?"
How much was
Uh,
the truck?
like 12, 13,000. We split it. Yeah.
So you wait. So you started a moving company, bought the truck without even testing it if you were physically able to do that for the whole day.
Nope. I was just so
Damn.
desperate to make money, man. I was like, I needed something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it on
Moving
my own, man. It
stuff.
was a sense of pride. I was like, I need to do it on my own.
Mm.
Um, so anyway, it worked out. We saw a Craigslist ad that Mattress Firm was needing owner operators with box trucks, and then we ended up getting on board with them, and Lover Liquidators was another one. And we grew it pretty fast, man. We started with that one truck, then we got another one, and then they asked me if since I was from Louisiana, they were like, "Hey, do you want to put some trucks in Louisiana?" So I just went to go get a bunch of trucks, man, and I moved back to well, I didn't really move back to Louisiana, but I went over there for a couple months to get it going, right? And I ended up putting about like 4 trucks in Baton Rouge and 2 in New Orleans,
To
and
do deliveries for Mattress Firm.
to do deliveries for Mattress Firm. Yeah.
All right. So pause here for a sec. So
Okay.
you buy this truck,
Yeah.
13K. What do you go
Mm-hmm.
to a dealership, or you bought it from a person, like a
Yeah.
dealership?
One of those little side on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How'd you pay
Yeah.
for the truck? Credit card?
Credit card.
That damn credit card, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta
man.
love it. So you buy this truck, man. Now you're 13K invested.
Yeah.
You're right. You're gonna start a moving company. Realize it's a lot of work, which it is. And you go on Craigslist and you see an ad that Mattress Firm is looking for people that own trucks to do
Yes.
deliveries. So you contact them. What does that look like? You say, "Hey, I got a truck. You need can you give me a job, a gig? Like, what does that look like?"
Yeah, so it's basically like an application. You gotta submit like all your DOT forms, just all your regulations. They make sure that you're licensed, all that stuff. So
Mm.
and then they want to meet you face to face, and then it's almost like an interview process, right? To see if you're a good fit, to be working under their umbrella.
Now, did you need a CDL for the truck or no?
No,
Okay,
no.
but you need DOT and all that. What is that?
You gotta, man, you have to like get it approved through the state, man. It's like
To be on the road and doing delivery. I get it.
yeah,
So you get this gig now. Now you're in the delivery business.
yeah,
Holy smokes!
yeah, man.
Wow. Now,
It gets more. It gets interesting.
okay. So you're doing deliveries, right? You and your buddy.
Yeah.
You deliver it. So you go to the warehouse every day. I assume pick up mattresses. They give you the addresses. Then you show up. You got to bring them in for the people, right?
Hmm.
Did you have to set up beds too, or just drop off the mattress?
No, I mean we didn't like put somebody's bed sheets and stuff on.
No, I mean like the frame and all that. Because mattress frame, I don't know if they sell frames, but
You just drop it off. You drop it off the mattresses, man.
drop it off.
Drop
Okay.
it off. Go to the next one.
How much they paying you to do this?
They were paying me like $30 or $35 a stop, and then usually we would have around like 15 to 20 stops a day.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But you got to factor, man. Like our profit margins were so slim because you got to pay your guys to your helper. It takes two people to do it, and then I mean the fuel's not cheap. You know, you're filling that truck up. You know, every day
Mm.
costs around 150, $200. I mean, it's not cheap by all means. And then you got the maintenance on the truck. You know, all that little stuff starts to add up, man.
Okay, so you got a little bit of overhead.
Mm-hmm.
How much would you say during a day you could make delivery mattresses?
Um, Man, it was roughly around like 450, 450, $500 a day.
Profit,
No, not profit. No,
gross.
gross.
So
Yeah.
take away what do you make? I'm just curious. Like what are you making?
It was probably around like after everything was said and done around like 150, $200 a day.
$200 a day, and is it steady work like every
No,
day? Okay.
no. So some days it changed. Some days it would be like I just need two trucks a day, not three. So I would have my truck that's on hold, not making money, right?
Mm.
And then sometimes the drops were low. Sometimes it was 10 drops instead of 15 or 20. So they pay you per drop, right? So it always varies, man.
I
It's
got
always
you.
always
Okay.
different.
So you ended up expanding it. So you saw some opportunity, right? Bought some more trucks,
Yeah.
and I'm sure hired some more people, man. And then what happened?
After that, man. So during that time, I had like 18 guys working under me. Um, I ended up wanting to get out of it because it was grueling, dude. It was tough work. I mean, tossing around mattresses every day. I was like, man, I started to want to learn more about sales. So I had that going, and then I got into car sales for a little while in Houston. Started learning about selling cars. Um, before I did that, I'll rewind a little bit. Before I went to car sales, I did what was it, man? This is where I built my tough skin. People businesses that are behind on their bills.
Mm.
What is it called, man? You're calling them basically. What is it called? You're calling them to get them to pay on their bills, right? They're behind on their
Collection.
collect. Right, I work for a collection agency.
You
Um,
son of a bitch.
so
What team you working for, man?
man, it was like Greenberg, Grant, and Richards or something.
You probably called me. No, I'm
It was interesting, man. It was hella interesting. Built a lot of tough skin that way. Got a lot of FUs. And then that they wanted you to stay on the phones nonstop, man. You got to be calling. Got to be calling.
mm. But
They were on.
what happened to the mat? Did you sell the mattress company, like the trucks?
I still had this running, man. I ended up
Okay.
one of my guys that worked for me. I was like, hey, man, like I'll pay you extra if you just kind of run stuff. I mean, in the meantime, I was still actively involved. He would call me a bunch of times during the day,
Mm.
so I was still actively involved. And then I did the car sales for a little while too. Um,
I'm very shocked, man. 18 trucks, and
no,
that's
18,
not.
18 employees,
Oh,
right?
18 employees. I'm sorry, 18 employees, and that wasn't enough to keep you stable without having to go get
No,
another source of
no,
income.
man. Yeah, I was so. By this time, man, I was so drowned in debt, dude. I was digging myself out of my hole,
Right.
right? I was digging myself out of my hole, paying all the bills that I owed. Um, and then I got to a point where I wanted to learn different stuff. I felt like I was still back in the oil and gas business, right? I had to depend on Mattress Firm to be able to supply my business.
Mm.
I didn't want to be tied down to anything like that. You know what I mean? So I felt like this is not going to be it for me. I need to do something else.
Mm.
Um, Plus, it was really hard work, man, and I wanted to learn about sales. Um, I still feel strongly that everybody needs to learn sales. It's one of the best skills that you could learn. And I learned a lot, in the collection agency and by selling cars.
Mm.
So,
What kind of cars were you selling?
man, I know, I don't know if all your listeners are from the Houston area or not, but you know where that NXS is at? NXS is off of 59 South.
NXS.
Yeah, so it was more luxury type cars. So that's why I was attracted to it too. Man, they were selling, used Lamborghinis, Rolls Royce, Audis, Mercedes.
Really?
So,
59
uh,
South. On the way towards like Sugarland area.
no, no, you're still in Houston. It's matter of fact, it's more in the Galleria area. You know where the Ferrari dealership's at?
Yeah.
Not too far from there.
Okay. Yeah, by Lakewood. I know exactly where that's at.
Yes. Yep.
So you're selling Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It was
That's
cool.
cool. That must have been inspirational, right? To sell.
Hell yeah, man. I'd walk into that dealership every day and see that, and I was like, I want one of these. Just wanted it.
Wow. How'd you get that gig? Was it Craigslist or?
No, it was a referral. So somebody that I knew that was in the trucking business knew the manager that ran that place, and he hooked me up.
Mm,
Yeah.
gotcha. And you were doing this for obviously commission. Was it commission only, or did they pay you a
Commission.
base?
No, just commission.
Commission
Hmm.
only's tough, man. You got to be a real hustler for commission only, right?
Hmm.
So what was that like, man? You sell, like, what was one of your biggest closes?
I sucked at it, man. I
What
was
you
terrible.
mean you sucked at it?
I was bad. I was bad, man. I didn't know how to sell anything, dude. It was I wasn't good at it at all. I think my biggest sell was I made like $1,000 commission.
Mm,
Um, and then I I kind of went through another like little rough patch then too because I started drinking a lot then.
mm,
Um, a lot of the guys that worked at that dealership drank during the day, and we would go for lunch and start drinking, man. And that's why I got out of that business, you know.
mm,
I started, getting into a bad environment again, and I had to, recollect my thoughts and get out of there.
mm. Wow. What was it? Because it was slow, or there was like a lot of free time that you could just go and.
The- There's a lot of free time, and I guess I was influenced a little bit by some of the guys that were there, and you know, it was I don't know, man. It was
This toxic environment.
toxic, very
Yeah.
toxic. Exactly. That's the best way to put it.
So you ended up quitting.
I ended up quitting. Yeah.
What'd you do now? You now you're jobless again, right?
Yeah. So I still had the trucks going. So that was always behind my back. And then shortly after I left there, Hurricane Harvey hit.
Mm,
During the meantime of all this, I wanted to get real estate was always my thing, man. Whenever I bought that first rental property, I was always had a want and a desire to do more in real estate. I knew about the wholesaling thing for a while, just didn't really know how to go about it. And then I left. Harvey came, and then I was like, well, man, this might be the perfect time to start wholesaling houses. And Harvey passed, and I started putting out some bandit signs. Next thing you know, I bagged my first deal from that. It took a little while, took a couple months before I got my first deal.
mm,
I think the biggest thing with wholesaling is just consistent effort, and that consistent effort led me to my first deal.
mm. Nice, man. Where was the deal?
Pearland,
Okay.
flooded
Good area,
house.
man. It was flooded.
It was flooded.
Harvey Harvey was just insane, bro.
Yeah.
Did you stay in Houston during the storm?
No, I left. I went to San Antonio. Yeah,
Smart man.
I had some friends out there, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna. I come from South Louisiana. I know how rough hurricanes can be.
Right.
Being with the power and shit. I was like, man, I'm getting out of here.
Dude, I was I evacuated too, bro. I was the
Yeah.
last. I was the last plane out, bro. Not
Oh
even
wow.
kidding you, dude. I'm at George Bush Airport,
Hmm.
and my plane's the last one to get out, bro.
Yeah.
I saw a plane. These people just landed, bro, and they getting off. You know when you see people coming off the plane, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you guys doing?
What's going
There is
here?
a monster hurricane coming here tomorrow, and you
Yeah.
decide to come here, man, dude. Yeah, I evacuated, bro. I was because I used to live in South Florida. I went through a couple bad ones, man. I was in Katrina,
Hmm.
and man, hurricanes not a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not even the actual storm, but the
Hmm.
after effects of losing power and you know crazy. I don't think a lot of people fully understand like the sheer magnitude of Harvey's damage. Like the flooding was just unreal. You don't. It's
Yeah.
like some movie shit right there, bro.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, man. It was bad. It was really bad.
You know, I remember going through Bear Creek area and just going through neighborhoods, man. Same as you.
Hmm.
The whole neighborhood's destroyed. Like
Yeah.
there's like 30 houses on one block, all gone.
Yep.
But it opened up a lot of opportunity, man, you know, for
It
people
did.
in the real estate world. So you
Yeah.
start doing deals, right? You start doing deals, you start making things happen, right? Is this it? Like are you thinking to yourself, this is it. I'm not bouncing around anymore?
I loved it, man. I loved it, and I think I got like a good kick out of the adrenaline out of it,
Mm.
and I don't know. It's to be able to, where I come from. I busted my ass to make money, right? I had oil and gas, then I went to trucks. It was all hard, physical labor. So to be able to just drop 200, 300 bandit signs within a span of like 2 months, and my first deal, I made 7,000 on it. I was hooked. I was like,
Mm.
wow, you know.
Fast forward to present day,
Hmm.
what have you been able to put together, right? Like you built your own brand.
Yeah,
You're still doing the wholesaling, right? Has anything changed since like that first day when you after Harvey when you went out and found that first deal?
a lot's changed. Yeah. I started picking up some deals here and there, figuring out, bandit signs, cold calling, did some direct mail and stuff a little bit.
Mm.
But I was just tossing money out there, man. It's kind of like just I was throwing out a fishing line just to see if something would catch it. And I had a few catches. Did a couple deals here and there, and then I'd spend my marketing money. And next thing you know, I'm like, damn, I hope I get a deal soon. I hope I get a deal. But it's like, I guess God was just looking out for me. It was like, here's another one. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. So it wasn't until, to be honest with you, Ross, I lived like that for a while. It wasn't until last year of June until whenever things really started falling into place. So just that consistent action of just not stopping, of trying to improve myself on my sales skills, marketing, and finding deals. It wasn't until mid last year where things started falling into place. And also, I got to give credit a lot to the mentor that I had too, that helped take me to the next level.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about, bro.
yeah. It's like,
Persistence.
yeah, and investing in yourself, right? Investing in coaching, investing in mentorship. Had I not done that, I would not be in the position I am in today.
Mm. That's bad to the bone, man. You
Yeah,
know, too many people throw in the towel too early, right? 3 feet from gold, man. They
yeah.
just throw it in, bro. Yeah, I'm curious, Cody. We've been chopping it up for a while. Imagine somebody's listening right now, and they're kind of going through what you were going through, right?
Mhm.
They're down in the dumps, like things aren't working out, and what's that one thing that you would tell them, man? Like some advice.
Um, man, don't. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, I guess, but just don't stop. Continue, like consistently look to improve yourself and surround yourself with people that are wanting to better themselves. Um, Man, that saying, more people you network with, the more wealthy you're going to be, and it's a true saying, man. A lot of people that I'm friends with now have played a huge factor in my success, and I mean that's the biggest thing too, man. Is just
Mm.
network with people, network your butt off, find people that are doing what you want to do, and be of value to them, and you can have a lot of success as well.
Mm. So when you talk about connecting with people and networking, let's just say I'm a solopreneur, right?
Hmm.
And I want to meet people that are in my industry that are doing business, and I want some friends, right? I want to have like some camaraderie and some people. Like what would you recommend for me to do as an action item to meet people and to put myself out there?
Oh man, social media is huge. I meet a lot of people today from social media, and a lot of it's from posting on my stories just actively. They see the office, they see our deals, what we're doing, and they want to be involved. So just being active on social media and what you want to do, reaching out to people on social media. Once this whole um, coronavirus stuff gets cleared out, networking events. There's always people putting out networking events for especially what you're looking to do, and just being actively involved in those and meeting
Mm.
everybody that you can.
Or you could get drunk on a plane to Fort Lauderdale. You
Yeah.
know? Man, Cody, bro, before we wrap things up, man, I got a few last questions for you. Number one, man, knowing everything that you know right now, if you
Hmm.
could snap your fingers and go back to any point in your life in the past and
Yeah,
change one thing, what would it be?
man, that's a really tough question. Um, I would say probably whenever I first moved here, I would have instead of being stubborn and not having an action plan or what I wanted to do, I went that whole year spending my savings, and that's what led me to being stuck in that hole with the whole credit card debt issue. I would say coming out here with more actual steps, maybe getting into sales earlier during that time. I could have done differently, but to be honest with you, man, you know, it, I'm the type of person to learn from my mistakes, man. So every mistake that I've ever made, I'm the type of person that I learn from it. I look at it in a positive way, and I just see, I look at it and say, I could do better than this, and I start, moving steps forward. So,
Mm,
I'm thankful for all those hard, challenging times.
mm. Yeah, sometimes our egos are not our amigos and they stop us
No,
from growth, right?
yes.
What is your last message to the people on the Started Somewhere podcast, man? Drop a golden bomb for us, Cody. What is it gonna be, man?
Man, to be honest with you, my biggest thing is it doesn't matter where you've come from, who you are. I dropped, I left high school, I got my GED, thankfully. Um, but none of that matters. None of that matters, man. Like just because you have, just because you've never go and get your college diploma or you haven't finished high school, that's not the end. You don't have to, you're not boxed in to a certain area of your life. Life has an endless amount of opportunities, and we're all human. We're here, thankfully, God's given us a chance to be here, and just seize every opportunity that you can, and consistently look and thrive to be the best person and best version of yourself that you can be.
Mm, powerful, my man. Powerful. Well, Cody, we're gonna link all your socials in the show notes. So listeners, hit them up, give them some feedback, take them out to lunch,
Hey,
buy them a cup of coffee, and
you
Cody, man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, brother. You have an amazing story, super inspiring. I'm inspired. So I want to thank you for that. And we'll catch up soon, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.